Welcome to Power and Perspective, where we reframe conversations with empathy
Allegedly.
and humor. And welcome to Hot Mess Monday on a Wednesday. We're pooped, people. Are you pooped? Because I think it's the holiday.
Steven knows he didn't even want to see our faces, telling us to put the music back on.
Yeah, Steven just wants to listen to our intro music. Did you people hear that we got in trouble for our intro music? Did we tell the people?
We got marked for on like 3 videos before I brought it up to him, but it was in a whole bunch of other countries that aren't here, and it was similarity to a song that it's nothing like. It was very strange.
Yeah. I feel like that makes us like famous.
Is
When you get in trouble for trying to copy something, that means people care that you're copying them. Like,
I mean, it wasn't you singing, so I mean that's on the list of impressive things
right?
that happened.
Also, could you count my copying or my singing as copying anyone? Oh, that is so funny. Okay. Yeah, so today, after like post Takesgiving, full belly week off, I posted something on Facebook that I think is hilarious and very apropos for this moment. It was like, what? I have to go back to work. I don't even remember what I do. And that is how I feel.
And
That's how I felt on Monday and how I feel today.
yeah, I mean that's how I feel most
Like,
Mondays.
Like, what? We do a podcast? Like, what? Yeah. See, you made it. If you get a copyright infraction. Thank you, Rosemary. I appreciate that. And I find it to be so true. Spread the word. Spread the word.
I think it has to be legit though, Rosie. I think. I don't make the rules, but
yeah.
I just think so. I think it has to be legit. So you have to get us in trouble.
Okay, but wait. But also, if it's not legit, that means they were listening to us.
That there were robots listening to us, yeah.
Oh, so the stupid robot identified
any human
it?
with ears would have known that the songs weren't similar at all.
Weren't the same at all? Oh, never mind. Never mind. I didn't know we were like an AI country.
Oh, yeah. That's who does all the initial stuff. And then when you submit a complaint or question it, then a person
they're like,
may listen to it.
Our robots were wrong. Oh, and yet these robots are supposed to have rights, and they're supposed to pay taxes. Have we talked about this, right, Steven? Steven said #robots are people. This is a thing people want to do.
Transhumanist episode yet?
Yeah, is this on the wheel? Because people legit want robots to pay taxes. Like, this makes no sense. This is California, by the way, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
I mean, that would make sense. It's going to be the only people there anyway.
I say we just give California back to Mexico.
I mean, it's just going to be robots.
I'm over it.
You want to give all the robots back? You're give all the robots to either Mexico or Canada.
I'm getting all of California.
They could just take the whole Pacific coast.
Yeah, all of California. Not the whole Pacific coast, because I like Washington and Oregon.
But you'll need them to be part of the United States, right?
And then how do I get to Hawaii? Oh, I fly from... I usually fly to California
by
and
airplane?
then fly to Hawaii. I usually walk through California or with my horse and buggy. So, like, I kind of need that.
You ford the ocean?
Yes. Rosemary, I see that coming. #Robot Lives Matter. I see it coming. It's coming, people.
Yeah.
Well, so today... Go ahead.
I think I was going to say the same thing you were, so go nuts.
Okay, as you might have guessed,
We have none.
we have no plan. Yeah, we have no plan, and therefore it is time for Wheel of
Did you want to get into the
Randomness.
scheduling announcement here first before we have too much
No,
fun,
no,
or?
because you have to stay till the end to get the
All
special
right, all right.
announcements.
Well, let me switch over, get everything set up here, and there's a
Yeah, and
45% chance this will all work flawlessly.
oh, that's amazing. AI robots, it
And
would
here we
work.
are, and I
Actually, no, it
think
wouldn't.
talk for me.
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
hello,
everybody
I'm
can hear
talking.
you. All right,
Steven says two podcasts
he
a week.
nailed it.
You're
We're doing
killing me, Steven. I can't even
seven a
get.
week. All right, so we're spinning the wheel. We still got leftover stuff. We haven't added anything new recently, just so you're aware. And it looks like it's going to land on keeping exotic pets.
Oh, this is interesting. First of all, what do we mean by exotic? And who added this? I don't
That was
remember this.
probably just me, yeah. I was
Ah,
probably thinking about Roosin more or talking to somebody about Roosin more.
oh. Or have you watched those when animals attack or when pets attack? Like when people try to exotic animals as pets and they attack them like an animal is like ingrained to do. We're like, oh, my pet rhinoceros killed me. Like,
Do people keep pet? Does that happen?
you shouldn't.
I saw
I don't know.
Tiger King, but I didn't know people kept rhinoceroses. Is that who are these people?
Well,
This
like
isn't Mike
different
Tyson's
things.
tiger. This isn't.
There is not a documentary show, but like one of those reality shows. Yeah, pets are slaves. Hashtag pets lives matter,
No,
Stephen. They should have
no.
rights.
They
Should
would
they
be
pay
extinct. There
taxes?
would be lots of animals extinct if we did not keep them as pets.
Monique says chimps, pumas, skunks.
Those are definitely exotic.
Exotic. Yeah, so but if they're not aggressive, should people be allowed to keep them as
I mean, I
pets?
think it's inappropriate. I think as long as it is in at least a somewhat in the interest of the animal.
Oh.
But if you're taking like
Can nobody hear? Did you see that? Monique says she can't hear
why?
you. Can nobody hear Aaron?
Oh no.
That'd be funny if this whole time no one could
I
hear you
mean,
and nobody said anything until now. Rosemary says her. Oh, Stephen can hear everyone. Rosemary says her pug is actively trying to assassinate her.
I mean that's what pugs
So
do.
yeah,
They're
look,
monsters.
this thing right here,
Yes, chihuahuas are monsters
just
too.
like
Yes.
tell me on the daily. That's all you need, Monique. That's all
I'm
you
trying to make
need.
sure that I'm
Yeah.
on stereo since that has been an issue in the past.
Oh, she's gonna refresh. So.
No, yeah, I should be good.
Oh, Steven says check your stereo. I know no, I know not what any of this means.
Yeah, no, you're good. It's
So
not important. We're good.
again, how do you establish exotic?
Well, I think like the needs of the animals. Like so, if you live, let's not even get too exotic, right? Say you have a high energy dog, and like you have a herding dog, and you live in a small apartment, and you don't have the time to take that dog on 2-3 walks a day. I think that's inappropriate.
that I don't think that's the topic.
No, I'm
though.
using that as a basis for
That's
my
not
argument.
exotic.
So calm down.
Oh, okay.
Take a breath. Let me
Okay.
get there. So if you can't meet the needs of the animals, right, and obviously the more exotic animals, the more interesting and diverse the needs will be. Like if you keep exotic wild birds and you keep them in cages, is that appropriate?
If you keep any bird
Yeah,
in a
I'm not
cage,
really
is
sure
it
what the whole
appropriate?
like level of domestication thing is with birds because
Yeah,
they're
that's
monsters.
yeah.
I mean, I'm saying monsters a lot, but birds are monsters.
I mean, like, but I think of reptiles too. Like, there's no truly domesticated a reptile that is just born in captivity but released the instant it's born, right? It's gonna have the same instincts, right? Like it'll survive in the wild, no?
I don't know. I mean, maybe not after you feed it. I mean, like at the beginning of its life, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I don't
just
know.
was
Yeah.
born. Just throw it out there.
I don't know if reptiles do the parenting thing.
So it kind of feels like this is like there's a word for this that I don't know, but like human centric. Isn't there like a more fancier word?
I don't even understand what point you're trying to get across, so I can't help you.
Well, the point is irrelevant, just that there's a human centric view. Like, I am human. I should be able to keep all these other animals under my domain and do with them what I
Well, I
will.
mean, that's true. You can do that, and just some point we're gonna have to call it abuse, and there you go.
Because so if it's exotic, what if, right? I have an exotic pet that's small. Like she said, a skunk. Mostly because I don't know what the other animal is. But
You
let's
don't
say
know
you
what a
have a
puma
skunk.
is?
Is that like a cat?
Yes, it's a large cat. Well, it's a
Oh,
medium large
oh,
cat.
okay. It's a mountain lion. There's another. There's they call them pumas in one place and mountain lions in another place,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They're.
I taught this lesson one
And then what
time.
was the other thing? You don't know what a chimp is?
No, I know what a chimp is, but didn't fit my it didn't fit my
Okay.
scenario. Actually, it does. Like a chimp, no, because you don't have like big trees and stuff. But a skunk, let's say I have a really large backyard and I keep a skunk pet.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't know where the lines are drawn for domestication of some of these animals. Like it's easy when you look at like when I was
Mm.
talking about roos and more, like keeping kangaroos. It's like if you don't have a large plot of land, it's inappropriate because kangaroos need a lot of
Yeah.
land, have a lot of energy, do a lot of questionable things if you know not supervised.
But those weren't. That's not really pets. Those. It was like a
Well, most of
sanctuary, right?
those animals were mostly recovered from people who were keeping them as pets.
As pets.
The same with the
People are
African
strange.
porcupines, the big old burrowing African porcupines. It's like
People are
those are
strange.
gonna
Like
dig
I get
under
it.
your house, under your neighbor's house. That's inappropriate unless you have a shitload of land, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Um. Rosemary says there are people that keep raccoons as pets, which is hilarious because I was just talking to my students about this, and they were joking and was like, "I have a raccoon as a pet." I was like, "Oh my god, you do that so cool!" But then they said they were joking.
And I feel like it could be disastrous if they get dumped in the wild. Yeah, I mean, and that's I mean, if any of them get abandoned, I mean, even if you abandon your
Yeah.
dogs and cats, it's pretty
Once you
damn
make them a
appropriate.
pet, the only appropriate thing is to keep them in
Yeah,
captivity. Once you make them a pet,
yeah.
that's all you can do. But why make them a pet to begin with, and where does it draw lines regardless of abuse, right? What if you're taking really good care of it, but what's
Well, if you ask
appropriateness,
PETA,
you
it's
know?
inappropriate for anybody to have for any animal to have been domesticated at all.
So I'm listening to Clan of the Cave Bear now, and she does a lot of research, but so she provides a hypothetical scenario on how the horse may have been initially domesticated, right? And then turned into like a workhorse, like it does these things. And of course, innocently in the beginning, and then to a point of could get to a point of inhumane. But look at what we use a horse for, like horse races. Um, but what else do we use a horse for? Horse rides.
Yeah, drawing carriages and stuff. I think the horse racing thing is easily inappropriate. Could be easily called inappropriate by any reasonable person.
Yeah, and they're bred to be a certain thing. It's just, it's something that makes you go, and then it's like, okay, there's all these other things in the world that are like where people are being abused, right? So where do you put your energy?
Into both. I mean, I think animals are probably more important. They're more helpful than people.
Oh yeah.
Just
But
like
again, we have
robots.
human-centric brains. Oh Lord.
We'll have robot racing
I'm
and
gonna drink now.
pet robots, and we won't have to worry about it anymore.
There you go. This is
That is the
making total
solution,
sense.
yes. And then those robot pets will be
There
paying
we go.
taxes so that the roads can be
Yeah.
upkept in California. And we've come full
Oh
circle.
goodness. Full circle. We've solved everything really.
Yeah,
What
and
has
since they all
happened.
run on electricity,
And
we won't
yeah.
have to worry about global warming because it will be absolute. There, we will get to a point where it cannot get warmer
No,
and we'll be good.
no, they could run on running power by a human on a
Oh, all
treadmill.
right.
and now the humans are working for the robots.
Can we maybe put them in sleep pods? And then while they're in these sleep pods, we put them in the simulation of what their reality was like, and we just use them as batteries.
Well, where's the energy come from that they're storing?
No, they generate, like, as people, we generate energy. So they would the robots would be giving us calories, and we would be generating energy from those calories. Just so you know, no, the Matrix does not make sense, and that's what we're discussing right now.
This is very strange. Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen that, truthfully. I know. I feel like I've seen that one scene where they go, ooh, like that scene.
I think Gigapets, but I feel like the pets that we're talking about here, like, those are the perfect pets. The beginning of robot pets.
Yeah. That's what you're allowed to. Yeah. So why not?
So yeah, just make that keep only Gigapets, Steven, and give them to your kids. And
let's spin it.
All right, hold on.
Don't keep skunks as pets. But and we're gonna make robot pets. That's where we've landed.
If you find an injured skunk and you find that there's no place to take it, and instead of putting it down, you bring it into your home, and it lives a fine life, is that okay?
But see, this is what happens: is that there should be a gray area of common sense, but the problem is there is no common sense, and people can't think on their own. So that's why we end up having to create these very black and white lines, right? That then make no sense. Like that, you know what I mean?
Well, the problem with rehab and release is people get emotionally attached to fuzzy things. Well,
yeah.
People get attached to fuzzy things. It just happens. I'm sure nobody here can relate
why do I keep this
to the attachment to fuzzy things?
Thing sitting on my lap. I mean, Rosemary's pug is trying to kill her. She still keeps it.
There's no excuse for that business, Rosie. No excuse. All right, let's see here. Here we go. Now watch, we're gonna land on dogs versus cats just to follow it up here. But here we are.
Which is hilarious because I had that conversation with my students too. Oh, what is it? It's not dogs versus cats.
It's 100% dogs versus cats.
Shut your face. People, do you see the energy that we created this?
Are you supporting the Matrix again now?
We manifested this scenario. Right? Which is way more plausible than us creating a wheel that would land purposely on these two things.
And no, you're not being attacked, Rosie. It's pugs. It's pugs, I promise.
the killer
tortured,
pugs
the
are being
tortured animal. I mean, they would only come back to destroy all humans because of what's happened to them over the years and how they've been bred to not be able to breathe.
Yeah, right? Okay, so dogs versus cat. Let me tell you something funny related to this. So we are reading poems. I teach English right now, people, which really should not be legally allowed. We should add that wheel. Should April be allowed to teach English? But there's this poem. This is the second week in a row, right? Where they use old poems, which is totally fine, but where they call cats pussies. In 6th grade. There are a bazillion poems out there. And you have to 2 weeks in a row, pick a poem that has the word pussy. Are you trying to kill me?
Who's picking these poems? The curriculum?
The curriculum. It's in the gosh blessed curriculum. This is not funny.
You're right, it's not funny. It's hilarious.
What? I pulled it up on the screen and they're like, Miss Keipke, the poem that's in the book is really bad. And I was like, oh, you guys, I have to pull it up for you. So we'll continue talking because it's so crazy.
I mean, it's so further evidence, and I have to say this very quietly because there's an animal in here that will disagree with me and probably try to kill me in my sleep. But this is why dogs are superior, because you don't have to worry about. Well, I guess you have, female dogs. Never mind, we can't win linguistically. There's no good linguistic difference here.
Oh my God, do you what? There are so many poems that are named Robinson Crusoe. This is
I was like, you didn't just Google the word, did you? Because you're going to be busy for a while.
No.
She just wanted to find something that bonded well with latex.
Okay, guys, listen to this. Okay. So it's about the difference between you guys, this poem fits with what we're talking about. And the kids read this out loud in 6th grade. Pussy can sit by the fire and sing. Pussy can climb a tree or play with a silly old cork and string to amuse herself, not me. But I like Binky, my dog, because he knows how to behave. So Binky's the same as the first friend was, and I am the man in the cave. So it's all about how he likes to rate the dog better than the cat. But listen to this part. Okay. Pussy will rub my... Wait, stop, you can't laugh. Hold on. Pussy will rub my knees with her head, pretending she loves me hard. But the very minute I go to my bed, Pussy runs out in the yard. Come on, that's so dirty.
I don't have words. I don't.
This is the poem in the curriculum. I'm dying. Oh.
So I think that you have it within your power. You have it within your power to change the narrative and to teach kids that those are not bad words, and they should stop.
Oh, I did that. Oh, I want you to remember, I taught 6th grade science where I taught reproduction on the cellular level. So I taught about sperm and egg and homozygous. And we talked about feces and whatever. So I just kept saying it over and over. Like you
didn't have a choice. I mean, it's in the poem over and over.
Well, it's in the poem over and but I said it. I just said pussy is what they called a cat. So it's basically like saying cat can sit by the fire. It's like, how rude. They didn't even name the cat. They just call it pussy, which just is like calling it cat. And I just said it over and over. And then they stopped. they read it. They read it out loud. Okay.
So
Whew.
yeah,
so
the update that we have is that just so you guys know, this is just going to be April reading poems going forward. That's pretty much what we're gonna do. I'm gonna enjoy it just like y'all do. Just be an audience member here. Because if it continues like that, I think it's going to go very well.
I just don't understand. Why are we gonna pick 2 poems? I wish I remembered what poem was the last one.
The band is Pussy Riot. Not about a cat. Not a cat.
Well, that's very confusing. Our youth who are learning that pussy means cat.
I don't know that your 6th graders are listening to Russian punk rock, but they could.
You never know. There's some weird kids.
Wait, so they have to be weird to listen to Russian punk rock? The last part about knee rubbing sounds like stuff that happens in places on Industrial Road. Yes, it does.
Right?
Yeah.
Pussy will rub my knees with her head, pretending she loves me hard.
But I mean, at least with dogs, at least you get loyalty out of it, right? Well,
cats are just selfish, right? Anything they do is because they're getting something out of it, and the second they're not getting out of it, they're like, peace out.
Which is why you should just have a human friend instead of a cat, because then you don't have to. You don't have to feed them, right? Because
the cat puts its little paw in my hand.
You don't have a human that will do that?
Well, not in my bed.
It's a furriness thing. We're getting back to the attachment to furriness, to furry things.
To furry things, yeah. Yeah. And truthfully, I don't really like cats very much. I just like my cat.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And I don't even particularly like my cat. I'm just kidding.
But cats are easier. Cats are easier to deal with because you can leave them. They go potty in a box.
Yeah. I left it alone for 7 days and it was fine. Came back and it was fine.
I leave my cat and have to find a babysitter for the dog.
Can you squirt your human friends with water when they misbehave? I mean, you can squirt them with water whenever you want.
You may not have friends very long.
Yeah,
but
just like you may not have a cat very long. It's hard to tell.
Monique makes a good point. Cats are good animals for people who want less responsibility.
See, now I feel
I'm
attacked.
in favor of that. Are you irresponsible? A kid called me. I told the kid there was a group of words. I said, use one of them in a sentence. And one of the words was unreliable. So, of course, their sentence was Miss Keipke is unreliable. This kid, he's, oh.
A genius? He's perceptive.
No.
He's tactful.
Annoying AF. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think we've established you own a cat if you're irresponsible, and you own a dog if you take care of things and are going to rule the world.
To be fair, cats are also better pets to have if you want fuzzy things and you live in an apartment.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because it's easier to meet their needs. I guess that meets the responsibility requirement partially as well. So yeah
because it's less.
So basically, cats are worse. People that have cats are worse.
I have both.
Yeah,
too.
But if you have a dog, it cancels out the cat entirely.
Yes. So it's like you have nothing.
No, it's like you have a dog, and the cat no longer matters because it takes care of itself. I mean, you casually feed it or whatever, but as far as the responsibility argument, if you have a cat and a dog, you basically have a dog.
Okay, I get you.
Like if you have 4 dogs and a cat, you have 4 dogs.
Yeah.
The cat probably eats the dog food. Even if you give it
But
cat
if you have
food,
a cat,
give a shit.
then you have a cat. This is new math. Spread it around, people.
There is the advantage. There's the advantage that if you were to die in your sleep, you'd have somebody to make sure that they cleaned up your body.
Yeah. Like, what does that mean?
I think the cat would oblige and consume you.
Oh, you eventually?
Yeah, I think that's a thing. I could be wrong. I mean, it's... Hold on.
That sounds gross.
Vamp for me here for a second.
Yeah, that's... Oh, I'm vamping. So there was this poem. No kidding.
Both domestic dogs and cats will scavenge deceased humans. Never mind.
Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah. Okay, let's spin the wheel.
Oh, is that too far? Is that too much for you? Is this where we draw the line?
Yes. Animal. I was gonna say cannibalism. I guess it's not cannibalism, but they're just like
unless they go
close enough
after each other first.
Okay, Monique just made a very good point about cats. They're very useful with regards to killing pests.
I don't know about killing. I guess it depends.
Sometimes they.
Mine plays with pests and doesn't kill them. But she was used to having a dog that would do all the playing or all the killing through excessive playing.
All the killing after she played.
Yeah, so she would just bring them inside. So she would do the opposite of that.
Yeah. But at least it would be dead-ish, no?
Yeah, I mean, but they used to be outside. That's why and to be fair, I leave spiders alive in my house because they take care of everything else.
I was just say they take care of the bugs. Yeah. Okay, spin the wheel. Did you spin it?
We've just been looking at it for a minute.
Oh.
Would you eat your dead cat?
No.
No, I don't think I would either. Petception, your cat has a mouse for a pet. All right, so this one's yours.
Cat has
Talking about
what is it?
Water rights, living in southern Nevada.
Okay.
Out and jumping between scenes a little.
Colorado River. Yeah. I hope you all know something about this too.
I'm hoping you did some research because I don't have any numbers or anything on this.
Well, I don't have numbers. I just have, I just have what I know. And there was, when it was originally divided, when the Colorado River was originally divided, numbers were very different in states. So it was all fair. Well, of course, that extended too long. Now it is not fair. Besides the fact that, if you just think on a bigger scale, if there is a drought in one area and an excess amount of water in another area, don't stick to some like 1920s pack you made, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's
like it's humanity. We're talking about division of resources. Like, stop the silliness.
I mean, it's kind of the issue with things done by the government in general, and it's easy to make arguments.
Yeah,
and just like, I mean, if you look at inflation, like things change over time. So the $200 tax stamp there is for National Firearm Act's weapons that you can get. That was created to be a hindrance to acquiring a set number of types of weapons. That $200 used to be the equivalent of $2,000. So now, because of inflation over time, it's $200, and most people look at $200 and go, "It's $200."
Yeah.
So it doesn't even
interesting. It doesn't even matter anymore.
It doesn't serve its purpose other than the government accepting funds.
Interesting.
But so it looks like the big three, as we would expect, would be Arizona, Nevada, and the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California.
Because it's not all
the
of
Metropolitan
California.
Water District of Southern California gets 28.5%. Nevada is at 23.3%, and Arizona is at 18.9%. There are a bunch of.
I don't know if y'all do math very quickly out there, but that's
well,
not
and
enough.
there's obviously that's not anywhere near 100%. As you go down the list, they've got Burbank, Glendale, Pasadena, all at 1.5%. Los Angeles, California is 15.4%. Southern California, Edison is 5.5%.
So what does California get in all? And Rosemary makes a good point. All the Californians are moving here, so we get their water rations.
Well, this is electricity coming from the dam. This is not water.
Oh, not the water.
I'm still working on water, but that's electricity.
Yeah. You guys, the lake, I don't know if y'all grew up here, but the lake is just sad. Lake Mead, like, and that's the only reason people can survive here. Like, and to me, it's at a point where they expect a certain drought, and that's why there hasn't been like huge emergency status. You know, there's regulations and stuff, and they have reserves. But I don't know. It seems like it's getting bad.
It's definitely getting bad. I'm working on getting a picture up here.
Well, oh, you're gonna get a picture? Oh yeah. If you guys haven't ever seen it, like this is we're seeing like the pre and the post. So it says that the U.S. declared a shortage in the Colorado River, forcing water cuts. Arizona farmers will take the initial brunt, but there'll be wider reductions. This was in August 2021. So this just happened.
And you can see from the picture that's up right now the high water mark right there at the top of that white section and how far it's fallen over the years. And it's pretty bad. And you can see the dam kind of in the background a little bit. That should be about, the water should be at about the high level of the dam there.
So let's talk about that, where the biggest hit is going to be farmers. You know, it's not going to be factory farmers. You know, the ones that work for the government or like
they're getting subsidies.
Who are getting subsidies. It's not going to affect them. It's going to affect the small farmer.
Yeah, I mean,
this is
it's
bull
inevitable.
hockey.
I mean, that's just an inevitability.
The bull hockey.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to see like what it is that's going to happen.
It said their smaller reductions are mandated for Nevada and for Mexico across the southern border, because Mexico gets some of the water too. They're part of the agreement. As far as I know, they're part of the agreement. Yeah. Yeah. The forecast showed that by the end of this year, Lake Mead, the huge reservoir near Las Vegas, would reach a level of 1,066 feet above sea level. It hasn't seen a level that low since it began to fill, obviously. The lake will be at 34% of capacity. Do you remember? I remember a time, I don't know if it was in the 80s, but you would stand on the Hoover Dam and water would come over the bridge that you were standing on because it would be that high. Yeah. Isn't that crazy how water went down like
and it's worth noting that Lake Mead is the largest man-made reservoir by volume in the United States. So that's
and there's a lot of disagreement about that too. Yeah,
it's a lot of water.
And
what I'm curious about is water taken out of the system. Excuse me, upstream of Lake Mead.
Like so that would be some of California.
I have a lot more questions in all of this.
Okay,
So in
so the
Colorado
main
and up through the Rockies.
California, Nevada, and Arizona in the lower basin, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming in the upper basin. Those are the states
Okay.
involved in the after a contingency plan after lengthy negotiations. You can
And when
imagine.
was that? When was that
People just
established?
so in 2019 was the negotiations for the cuts,
Okay.
but was like the plan for the cuts. But when was the initial plan
Yeah.
established? It's called
I'm
something.
looking at
Anybody
it
out there
right
know the?
now. Well, right now I'm looking at a Colorado River Basin water supply and demand study.
No, it's there's like a name. There's like a contract. You guys, I used to know this stuff.
Yeah, this is a study. This is the reclamation study managing water in the West from December 2012, which is interesting. That's up on USBR, USBravoRomeo.gov.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen, especially like I think it was Monique said or Rosemary that so many people moving here.
Well, it begs the question, like if the water passes through a state, don't they have some right to it?
Yeah, so if it passes through several states, though, like
Well, but at the same time, if Wyoming was to gobble up all of the water in the Colorado, they decided they wanted to use all of it, it would not reach anywhere south of Wyoming. So does that
which
mean
is
that
why they
nobody
had to
would
have the
else? Yeah.
agreement.
So they have
Yeah,
to do something.
yeah.
I mean, unless we just all decide to not live in places where it's unsustainable because
You
people
shouldn't
shouldn't live
live.
there because it's
Yeah. That's what's going to have to happen. Or you're going to have to raise prices so much that people leave, which kind of is,
I mean, that's how it
I
works.
don't, you're going to have to because there's not enough water. What do you do when there's not enough water? And that's what I think is funny. It's like everybody, all these environmentalists, they always talk about this water shortage, water shortage, water shortage. There's not a global water shortage. There's the same amount of water on the earth at all times. So,
I
like,
mean,
what the
you could
heck are
argue
these
that
people
there's
talking
more
about?
because less of it is ice.
Less of it is ice. Yeah, right. So there's more water.
And that's why we're going to lose
So
California. And then we don't have to worry about it because they won't be taking that percentage of the water.
there you go. And we just need to come up with these. That's what we need is to invest in technology.
Yeah.
So a better desalinization process. And so we can destroy our oceans even more.
Well, I mean, it's a natural process in a lot of places. I mean, that's why we have
It's just
salt.
it's just inefficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
in
mean,
like
it
solar
provides us enough
energy.
with enough salt, though. I think that I've never had any issues with a salt shortage.
Yeah, there's never been a
So it'll
salt shortage,
be
but it might be coming.
that. I mean, that would be interesting if we had issues where all the salt flats were becoming rehydrated and we were losing all that water or all that salt to the ocean again. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
And water is free, but it doesn't rain here. So like that's why we have to get water that rains somewhere else and
Well,
flows
I mean,
down
in a
here.
lot of places, it's illegal to store rainwater because the government wants to
Oh,
help
I
you
didn't know that.
break the law as often as possible.
I did not know that. What?
Let me see here.
As if you couldn't make me hate them anymore.
Okay. Rainwater
What?
harvesting
That's
laws you need to
crazy.
know about. Well, that's kind of funny that it's completely illegal in Colorado to harvest rainwater.
Oh, because then you're stealing our water.
Yeah, that's
Because you're stealing Nevada's water. Okay, now I agree with it. No kidding.
It looks like a lot of states have gotten rid of their regulations on harvesting rainwater. Need a
Oh,
permit.
good.
It's encouraged in North
Ugh.
Carolina. So yeah, things have changed. When I first was
Oh,
looking into
good.
stuff like this, it was probably like 10 years ago when it was illegal in a lot of places to harvest rainwater.
Ridiculous. That reminds me of how there's laws on how big of a house you have to build on land that you purchase.
Well, I mean, yeah, and
Ridiculous.
it's outdated nonsense. It's outdated
because
nonsense.
tiny house, like we need tiny houses to minimize resources used. Okay,
But also, hold on. There's an important point to there that mental health is
sorry.
important too, and it's been proven that tiny house living isn't always great for people's mental health. Like there are a set type of people that can engage in that kind of behavior, and it is
Wait,
not
but if they
everybody.
want to, let
Well,
them.
no, I agree. I just don't think that that's like
It's
the
your
solution to all
property.
problems is people living in tiny houses.
No, I'm saying that if somebody wants to, they should be
Oh, well,
allowed
I think
to.
that for everything, but
Well, not everything, because if what you're right to swing your fist in,
yes,
sir.
I'm not
My
saying
face
I'm not equating building a tiny house on your own property to murder. That's not what I'm doing.
Well, you said
Just to clear
anything.
that
People
up.
should be able to do anything they want to do.
Like dealing with cats over here. Oh, whoops, that was the wrong.
In my defense, I said spin.
You said, oh yeah. I mean, that was hours ago. You might have said that.
Oh, Rosemary said, "Can you imagine Glenn living in a tiny house, Aaron?"
Yeah, I can. It would be awesome watching him hit his head on beams.
I was gonna say, is he tall? I
You've
was gonna
met
say
Glenn,
that.
my old boss, and Rosie's his wife.
Glenn from Geekazoid.
Rosie's
Oh, hello, Rosie.
Sorry, I didn't mean to out you
I
there.
didn't.
All right, so we landed on the Alec Baldwin Rust shooting.
Oh, where he accidentally shot someone, and then they were making memes about it, and everybody's like, "Well, that's what he gets because he's a hater."
Yeah, it was nonstop
Someone
memes.
died.
It was kind of, yeah. I mean, if there's anything to say about it, it's that I'm not really one to say too soon, but like 10 minutes after something happens.
Yeah, like he's not in jail because it wasn't his fault. Like it wasn't intentional,
to Rosie's
right?
point, yeah, he has almost zero responsibility.
Yeah,
like, this isn't a normal.
Steven says
this isn't a normal situation where if somebody hands you a gun and tells you it's a cold gun that you check it. You're on a movie set. It's gone through several hands. There's a lot of paperwork involved in the chain of custody and all that. He is not. I don't think he's responsible at all in all of this because it was supposed to be cold.
Yeah, I listened to some things. Yeah, and I listened to some things that there would never even be, like, for that to happen, there had to be some serious issues with protocol.
Yeah. Well, and they had people quitting and leaving the set over safety concerns. Like there was a lot wrong with what was going on.
Who's in charge?
That film.
So I wonder if those people in charge of those things, the reason why people were leaving, are the same people who are in charge of, like, the weapon usage.
No. They hired the people involved.
Okay.
And there's
I wonder if they're cutting corners.
Well, there was an argument that the damn it, what's the name of the person who handles the guns on set? I knew it. There was a time I knew it. Anyway, the armorer. So there's arguments being made that the armorer was green and didn't have enough experience to be the armorer on set. There's a lot of things going on involved with all that. And Steven, no, there is no footage. They shot it, ironically enough. Or he shot it.
He shot
the
footage. He shot the video
I don't know
camera that was recording him at that time.
Oh.
Too soon, Aaron. Too soon.
Yeah, I mean, he's like the only person I would say is like off the hook.
But everybody's talking about how he deserves this. He's a hater, whatever. No matter how much of a hater he is, like we went from hypotheticals and like him blabbing his mouth to actual reality where he has been the person who has killed someone. Like that, you're still human. He's a human who has killed another human.
Yeah. And I mean, him being a piece of crap doesn't change the circumstances of what happened. He can be a piece of shit and also be innocent. Those are not mutually exclusive things.
As we see, looking out around the world, right?
Wait, what was that about?
Yeah, this happens a lot.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of people out there who are innocent and also are a piece of shit.
That happens so often where it's like it's really confusing and just because we're not going to do an episode on it probably, with the
I know
Kyle
what you're about
Rittenhouse
to
thing,
say.
everybody's argument was if it was a black man, he would have been convicted, no questions asked. But it's a bad argument because does that mean that if that was wrong, that he would have been convicted? Should Kyle still have been convicted even though everybody in that situation would have been considered innocent by the facts?
So yeah, so there's two arguments there. That one, right? So really you shouldn't be arguing then that Kyle should be convicted. You should make sure that if this, God forbid, ever happens in the future, that everybody else is treated the same. So hopefully it sets a precedence for no matter what color someone is, this happens. You're right. Just because if he was black, definitely. I agree. I think he would have been convicted if he was black. But that doesn't mean Kyle should be convicted.
There was
right?
actually a
because
guy in court the same week that he was in court who was found innocent, a black man who was found innocent on a self-defense shooting, which was also kind of weird. I didn't look up too many facts of that, but people have been posting links to it.
But the other thing people were saying, which is ridiculous, is that he killed bad people.
Oh yeah, it's irrelevant.
Okay, well, it's so irrelevant. Like, it's so now it speaks to their character a little bit, so I could see that as like these are people who could have like he's not a good like no one would say that I went and hit someone on the head with a skateboard, right? Like you don't have any proof of my past that would be an action I would do in the future. Talking about these people's past and their criminal history, I could see mildly as proving like yeah, he could easily have pointed a gun at him.
Oh yeah, as to what led up to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't justify a killing.
I mean, so there's only one there's only one thing that I disagree with on that is that, and I haven't looked into this, but I know that one of the allegations against one of the victims, which we're not legally allowed to call victims, had some pedophilia charges. So as far as I'm concerned, if there was anything substantiated, into the wood chipper. So
also, but if you look at it from the area of the law, then that man should be on trial, not shot by a vigilante.
No, I agree. Yeah.
If you're taking away, yeah, like,
he shouldn't have been there because he should have been put into should have been put into the wood chipper, straight into the wood chipper. There are no exceptions to that one.
Yeah. Agreed. So he shouldn't have been there anyway because the law should have worked the right way.
I don't think the law says that we need to put pedophiles in wood chippers, but that's just my opinion.
Wood chippers,
and the opinion of a lot of people on the internet. So
I was gonna say probably the opinion of many people. So I feel like let's add it in.
Let's add it in.
I forgot what the wheel even spun to. Oh, the Alex Baldwin thing.
Yeah, we were just making we were trying to prove that even though he's a questionable human being,
poo-poo head,
it doesn't speak to his innocence or guilt
or innocence. Yeah. Oh wow, he was convicted, served time. He didn't serve enough time.
Well, no, because there's wood chippers. Come on now. Oh yeah, I remember he was. Yeah, and I think he might have been one of the instigators, one of the guys who was being loud and acting a fool on the streets and swearing and threatening people. But again, mostly irrelevant. I mean, it probably counted into the actual evidence that was presented during the trial, but I didn't have the energy.
Of self-defense.
I didn't have the energy to...
No, I didn't watch it all. I had somebody explain everything to me.
Was it a lawyer?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do they have wood chippers in Hawaii? Did you ask?
No. Unwilling assisted suicide.
Yeah, like suicide by cop, but instead suicide by teenage boy in the streets.
Because you're with a weapon who already killed other people. Like, how dumb do you have to be? I didn't even think about that. Good point, Steven. Like, what? How dumb do you have to be? You have this boy who does not have a fully formed cerebral cortex walking around with a weapon, right? And you watch him kill someone, and then you go after him. There
was a lot of questionable behavior on everybody's part, and that's top to bottom. That's him showing up. That's all the things that happened. His guardian saying, "Yeah, go ahead." All the things that happened were wrong.
Why was he there? But it's not illegal.
I mean, that's the
it's not
important...
illegal for him to be there. It wasn't even illegal for him to be there with the weapon, which is stupid.
That is not, I mean, not fundamentally stupid, I don't think, but
I just feel like all laws during riot situations should be modified. You are allowed to walk the streets open carry unless there is a riot, and then you must leave your.
So what happens if? Wait, hold on. This is very complicated. So you can you defend? So you're saying riot? Riot is implying illegal activity. So if those people who are going to break the law have weapons, are you permitted to defend yourself?
They won't, because it's illegal. So this is how we solve guns, is we just make laws. So it's illegal for them to bring out guns. So therefore,
wait, you're saying the people that are already breaking the law won't have already been.
Yeah, but they're not going to break this law. They're not going to break. They're not going to break.
I'm glad I know you're kidding, because otherwise I'd literally be steaming right now. Like, you'd be able to see steam coming off my forehead and my face turning red.
People literally think that, though, that more laws are going to stop these people from having guns.
Yeah, criminals are criminals.
Who are already criminals.
Well, and they often point to England, where they took away all the guns, and I mean, there's more knife crime now, but something you have to consider about every other country in the world is they don't have as many Americans as we do. And if you think that's not a substantive reason that things are different, then you need to do some more traveling.
Well, and things should be different. I mean, if you look at I always go to the history of our country, the Wild Wild West. You can look at Texas, where hunting and teaching your kids about guns is just a thing. That's just what you do. But it's not those kids that go out.
No, but I mean, that's the point. That's what I'm saying when I say we have Americans. Like, other countries don't have as many Americans as we do.
The Wild Wild West.
Well, and I mean, we feel more privileged more often than not, and we're a little batshit insane more often than other countries, and have bad
and
priorities.
Yet everybody wants to be here.
Well, I mean, those bad priorities means that we buy large screen televisions instead of paying for childcare. But I mean, isn't that what you would want? Like, if you have the option, it's like, fuck it, I get to have all the TVs.
Well, or that could be your childcare. Just buy a large screen television. Boom, childcare.
Like, making that argument like that's a positive result. Like,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We need to have a JK sign, like, just so people who don't know me know.
You need a /S sign. That means that's how you know you end sarcasm.
Oh.
So everybody knows that that's the end.
Oh, but that would be against me.
Yeah, that's you saying, okay, I'm ending my sarcasm. And then we can go back to having a normal
conversation. Do we have time for another spin?
We've got 6 minutes.
Or should we?
Things are getting, it's pretty complicated. Yeah, so we'll make the announcement, and then we'll deal with Steven's reaction to the announcement.
Well, and Steven says, duh, public schools, childcare, not TV. I mean, thank you, Steven. Even if you're being like, I don't know, something
facetious.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Yeah, that's how people look at public school. That's how people.
Yeah, that's why people get pissed off when they change the hours. It's like, I mean,
if I was paid like a babysitter, would I be rich?
That's the most complicated I think you've ever said.
No joke. If I was paid like a babysitter, come on. I have 115 or 130 students. I watch each student for an hour.
Each student for an hour? Oh, like collectively?
Yeah, an hour
as a group. Okay.
Yeah. I'll give a group discount.
So what you're saying is you need to be Eddie Murphy and start yourself a mommy daycare. And then that's what you can do for a living. Why have you not done this?
I don't know. It's 5:55 though. 5:55.
Oh, you people. So.
I just blew snot out of my nose.
So
on to our announcement.
In advance to Steven specifically for this. But it looks like we're going to be going to bi-monthly.
Which also could be called
Yeah.
bi-weekly, right?
Yeah. There's no.
Which is confusing. Can we talk about that confusion?
I mean, I like to use it both ways interchangeably at work just to fuck with people.
You like to go both ways?
Yeah. I mean, I do. I use those words both ways during my day job, and then I go both ways during my night job. So it, yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to clear everything up.
Yeah. I'm just fucking with people. So we've had some issues
in the day and the
we've
night.
had some issues with getting guests and some issues with time kind of in general in life and all that.
And direction. We're going to solidify a direction. We want to construct something powerful that moves forward.
Yeah, we were trying to find a way to more meaningfully build an audience so that the people coming back each week have some expectation of what's going on as far as subject matter that we can get into. That keeps with our message still of trying to talk about things that nobody's talking about and kind of rotate the scope on it a little bit. But it's becoming very difficult.
We're trying to solidify things to what is that word, like structured? I don't know.
Jello.
Gosh bless it, April.
Yeah.
Jello? No, the opposite of Jello. Like
set up, like Jello does.
Concrete.
Okay. You want to make concrete. Okay.
Like yes, that's what we'll be doing in the future. Join us for a do-it-yourself episode.
Cement. Lots of cement.
I'm making concrete. So again, as always, if you have any ideas, if you have any thoughts, we do this for
Twice
you.
A week, 2 hours. We got it. Yeah.
We do this for you. So if you have any ideas, tips, direction. That's the word I was thinking
if you know of any resources to look at, like I've done a bit of reading about trying to build an audience, but I'm happy to have more feedback if anybody knows about anything I can read or anything we can do. We definitely appreciate it.
Well, our biggest issue is each episode, even though it's about perspective, is aimed at a different topic, and everybody wants to listen to what they agree with. So our Satanist episode, right, was huge, but that's because all the Satanists watched it. They're not going to watch the next episode, right? Even though they should, because we're awesome, duh. But they just don't know that.
That said, we love y'all that are here.
Big fat hearts. Also, I'm tired, in case you guys wanted to know. Oh, what? You didn't like my big fat hearts?
It's just...
Or is it that I said
just
big
the way
fat
you're
hearts?
trying to do it with holding your hands apart. Well, I'm with you on that, Rosie. I can't get my family to listen to me either. No offense to anybody that.
So we love you, and we're gonna slow it down for a bit, pause, reflect, get a handle on a direction, and then
so we can have more meaningful crap going forward. So expect us in 2 weeks. We're hoping to have a guest, and we'll get back on ads and all the normal stuff that should be expected for then.
We got this.
But yeah, reach out to me. I think everybody in here can reach out to me directly. So reach out to me directly if you have any ideas. We love you guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and until then, have meaningful conversations.